What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's Thursday.
What's up, everybody? It's Brother Empowerment Day. You know what time it is.
So it's my favorite day of the week. Just like you said, it's Brother Empowerment. And if this is your first time watching, Brother Empowerment is about helping our brothers break through without breaking. This is not one of those bashing shows talking about what people should or shouldn't do, but this is about having healthy dialogues and looking at things from a different perspective, and hopefully somebody walk away with some information that may positively change their lives. So before we get into our guests, because I know you guys see them, bro, how was your week?
Man, this week has been full of, I think I had the same thing as last week, just full of a lot of healthy conversations, but heavy ones. And also, one thing that has changed from any of the week prior is that I'm actually going somewhere kind of far away this weekend. So I'm going out of town.
Kind of far away?
Yeah, kind of far away. It's a couple hours away. You know, I'm taking a little getaway, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of relax. But the week has been pretty all right, bro. It's just been, man, just more of the same. The Rona times, as people call them, are finally hitting me. As far as no traveling, no doing what we used to do, it's just newness, and it's kind of boring. But yeah, my week has been other than that, it's been pretty all right, man. How about yourself, bro?
Well, my week was great until today. Got some news that I'm still processing. It kind of threw me off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because what I'm processing is, even how to respond or how to navigate through it. But it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
But the week was actually pretty good. Yesterday, Love is a Parable was on WRAL.
That's correct.
So that was awesome to have that opportunity to talk about the different things. Not only what we're doing, but also talking about the injustices and systemic forms of oppression and unconscious bias. And then we do have the unconscious bias workshops that are coming up next week. So if you haven't had a chance, make sure you go ahead and enroll for that. But yeah, the information today actually, it kind of knocked me off my rocker, because dealing with betrayal is always hard. Even though you know that you're going to make a decision that is going to always work out in your favor per se, actually dealing with it doesn't take away the fact that it's still hard.
Right.
So it's interesting. It is quite interesting. And so we're trying to figure out, I'm just trying to navigate through that. But enough about that, because we got some awesome people on today. So I was always excited this week about it because of who we got.
Yeah. And
so we're going to let them introduce themselves, starting with the lovely Florida.
Hello, everyone. I am Florida. I'm the executive director of Shining Light in Darkness, and also my coaching business, Florida Soars. Okay. And also the lovely wife of Ed Dudley.
I'm sorry. Are you doing time?
Oh,
you got jokes.
Just little small ones, little itty bitty ones.
I'm not going to touch that one right now.
You don't want to get that conversation started. Not right now.
And we know because Ed is a gentleman, we're going to go ahead and let the lovely Rada go ahead and tell the people who you are.
So my name is Rada Mills, and I am the owner and founder of Burton Brewington Creative Agency. And just for fun, I'm also part of the board for Shining Light in Darkness. And I'm also with Connected. I'm also serving in a capacity with Ed as their PR and branding, because not marketing. Well, you already know that, JD. But anyway, PR. So I'm part of all of what they're doing. So if you need to get to them and you can't, you can just come to me, and then I'll get you to them.
So you should do that, because people are going to be trying to get to you just to get to them.
Discernment, she has that, so you know what we like and what we don't. So she's good. Yeah.
So don't be coming at her unless you're gonna come correct. That's what she said.
Basically. No fake phoniness allowed, not in this day and time.
Yeah, Cordell said your name is dope, Raider.
Oh, thank you. There is a story behind it, but we'll do that another time.
Okay, for sure.
Like, ever.
And last but not least,
Come on, man.
Mr. Connected himself.
I'm just Ed Dudley. I'm a servant, and I'm just here to help elevate people. That's it.
Really?
That's all you got. Ed,
You know what?
Well, the chief connector, the global connector.
Today.
Come on.
I am the global connector. I am Ed Dudley. I'm the founder, chief connections officer of We Are Connected. I'm the co-founder of Shining Light in Darkness. I am the founder of L2P Financial Partners, which is a financial services firm. Like I said, I'm a servant. I sit on multiple nonprofit boards. I'm just here, like I said, just to help serve people in this phase of my life, and I'm having fun doing it.
I feel like I should do a do-over after that.
Want to do a do-over?
Yeah, I didn't
All
really.
right, next show.
Well, we got several people that are on. So, bro, go on and let them know everybody that's on.
So we got Michelle is on. Hey, Shell.
Hey, Michelle.
Misha's on. Hey, Misha.
Hey, Miss Misha.
So we got Miss Joy. She's on. What's up, Joy?
Hey,
Hope I said it
Joy.
right this time. Isaiah is on. What's up, Isaiah, man?
What's going on?
Mama Garnett is on. Hey, Mama Garnett.
Is that your mama?
That's my mama.
We
Hey,
need to
mama.
talk about your son. Just letting you know. We need to talk about him.
Yeah. One of my old classmates, James, is on. What's up, James, man? We got Jamar's on. We got Miss Adrian Ragland, aka Miss Keon Ragland.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
We got Tara's on. Hey, sis.
Hey, Tara.
Maya is on.
Yep.
That's right. I say it right this time. My man James is on. Jack Wilkinson is on. What's up, Jack, man? My mom, Jackie, is on. Hey, mom.
Hey,
We
mom.
got Rick Owen is on. What's up, Rick, man? And Superman is on. What's up, Kerwin, bro?
What's going on, bro?
Man. So yeah, peace, man. So that's everybody I think we got with us right now. I think I missed a few people, but charge it to everything but me. Hey, Sean, what's up, bro?
What's going on, Sean? But you said it right.
Yeah. I listen.
Well, I'm definitely excited because this conversation could go several different ways, and I'm just interested to see how it's going to go.
Yeah, we got hell of topics this week.
We're going to repent right now.
We actually do. So, the first one is, how are y'all feeling about Nick Cannon and his comments and his apology?
Rita, PR, that's you.
Okay, so
You can't be throwing your weight around like that, First Lady. And Rita like, okay, I'm ready.
But see, when we have these discussions already, I really thought Jada and her entanglement was going to be the first one because that's just been the going thing, and we've discussed all of that. So
that was last week.
Yeah, we discussed that last week.
She's still entangled, so.
I agree.
So,
So, okay, I'm going to go from the First Amendment perspective, which, we all have, we all have the right to say whatever we want to say, right? Like, that's what the Freedom of Speech Amendment, that it gives us the ability to say whatever we want to say, right? That's the beauty. But I always say every word has a definition, and every word that you say has power, right? Mm-hmm. So what had happened, I think, was he has a right to say his opinion or even his thoughts. And if he had stayed on a factual, like just stayed in facts, he would have had there's no argument in facts. But I think when he was putting and inserting in parts of what was his opinion about things, is where when it came back up, that's where you start to refute what's kind of happening, is when a person is putting their opinions in something where they should probably stay fact-based. The other part of it is when he was saying his apology, because now we're in this cancer culture where when somebody is trying to offer what their thoughts were, where they were coming from, they're not heard anymore. People don't give them an opportunity to kind of say, where they were coming from, what their thoughts were, and they just canceled the entire production. I mean, they canceled the person, the production, and we all know that this was what, a year ago that this was even aired, if I'm not mistaken. It was. Where was it?
Recent. He taped it like 2 months.
I thought the podcast was a while ago, and it resurfaced.
Let me go double check. Look, let us go double check.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I think had happened. But regardless, that's what's happening now is we're in a cancel culture, and people are not trying to hear the thoughts where you were, because he could have changed his thoughts if that was a while back. But from a PR standpoint, I mean, Nick's going to be okay. Fox even said he's going to continue his show. I think the real question is, what was the context of the interview? Like, what even led up to that discussion? And then what were the other things that were said? Because we only got a portion of the interview. So.
Okay. Ed, what y'all got?
Go ahead, Florida. I'll let you go. They love you already, Flo, so go ahead.
Y'all listen here, because let me tell you, they got stuff to say. Y'all ain't gonna be coming on this show trying to be all dignified.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna let the lady. Well, honestly, if Nick felt the way he felt and he said it, don't go back and apologize. I'm tired of people apologizing for how they really feel. Whether we agree with what they say or not, stop apologizing for how you really feel. So if I'm going to say something and I know it's going to be live and somebody else is going to hear it, I'm not going to apologize, because if I said it, I meant it.
Yeah.
Words have power.
Yeah, I would say that I do agree with you there, Ed. I mean, Nick has been in show business long enough to know that the implications of things that you say, especially with someone as visible as him, are going to be looked at and dissected. So I feel like if you're gonna say anything, really, stand on it. If you're going to say up there and say it, stand on it. So I think him apologizing for it and going back after all the stuff happened, and Viacom, said that they were gonna cancel, Wild 'N Out, all that other stuff. I think that was that was just really problematic. It's a little hollow.
Yeah.
And Rita, to your point of cancel culture, I think that cancel culture is more of a social media phenomenon than I think is an actual physical phenomenon, because people will say that such and such is canceled, whatever. But when you look at their their movement as far as what the product they have, people still buying it or whatever. So people can scream such and such is canceled all day long, but until people actually do it, it's literally just something that goes around on social media. So I don't think the cancel's going to be the real cancel culture. Is how these companies move once you do something. That's the real cancel culture. So Viacom showed him what cancel culture really is. They said, okay,
right,
Wild 'N Out, and we're gonna put the big C on that.
Right.
So.
Well, but you also got to think that the head woman was of quote unquote Jewish descent. So she naturally is going to take up for her and her people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that I want to say about that, but I'm going to leave it alone, because I do agree with Rita in a sense of we are quick. Well, certain people are quick when it comes to accountability. We think that accountability only looks and is formed in one way. But accountability is the close cousin of truth, and they both are very petty. And so just because you don't like it and just because it doesn't feel good, that doesn't mean it's not the truth and it's not accountability. Secondly, I do agree with Rita again, because we have to get to a place, if we're going to have a conversation, stick with research information. Emotional interjections can sometimes be incriminating and damaging. And so if you stick with research information, there is a way to articulate it. But when you just flow off of emotionally charged responses, now I'm like, Ed, you better stand behind what you said, because no apology really should be rendered at that point, because let's be honest, they already decided if they were going to forgive you or not.
Right.
Their decision.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at the comments at the same time. First of all, Flo's got some fans. Somebody, is it Misha?
Yeah.
Said, let Flo talk. He said she's got that finger that has something serious.
I'm just waiting because
I love Flo already.
believe me, I'm gonna have my time, and when I do,
We know
that's it.
we're gonna sit and listen just like we in class.
Correct. Yes. So I'm just really taking it in. But I will say that freedom of speech, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
What Rita said. Two, what Ed said is when you say something and you mean it, you don't apologize for it.
Stand on it.
And the only thing that I don't like about how Nick handled it, if he was true to the whole thing, he should have never came back and apologized, because if he was concerned about his shows and everything, they gave him the opportunity to rescind and go and initiate, give an apology for what he said, to make a rebuttal. But he refused. And so now, after all of the backlash, it makes him look like a punk. That's just the bottom line. He's not a punk, and I'm not saying that at all. But when you're adamant about something and you say that you're not going to do this, and then you rescind and go back and do the very thing that you said you're not going to do, that doesn't make sense. You're unstable. He's double-minded. So guess what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
She said she had a word.
And we were in class, and you interrupted the teacher, man. You gotta go.
Yes, but
I got Auburn on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, offer.
Well, Misha said, "How do we know the facts?" Well, the facts are the information that is researched and that's proven. There is scientific information out there that talks about the true origin of the biblical Hebrew. That's no mystery. It's actually common knowledge. Even if you do a Google, that information will come up fairly quickly. But when you start going into information about how melanin makes one act, or the absence of melanin, that's not proven. You start going into information about how melanin. Who is that?
That's you.
That wasn't me. Mine was already down. What? That was one of you people. But anyway, you can't prove any of, like, those things are not proven at this point. Matter of fact, they have been studying for years, like, why does the amount of melanin secrete from certain places in our bodies, and they still can't figure that out. They know that it helps with synthesizing vitamin D. They know that certain things, yes, it gives our color and all of those things, but it's countless things that they don't know that they're still researching. And then when you start going into character dismantling, that's all emotional, because that's based on pure perception. And we got to be careful with that, because do we get emotional about things that we learn and know? Of course. But we got to make sure that whatever comes with those consequences of what we said, we'll be able to handle it.
Right.
And sometimes, like she said, going back and if you said you wasn't going to apologize, then don't apologize. But if you say that if you felt like it came out wrong, usually when a person knows something came out wrong, they say it in real time, like, "Ooh, that came out wrong. Let me correct that." But because that didn't happen, just stick to it and move on. Sean said it has an opportunity to be a great teaching moment, shouldn't be canceled, but given an opportunity to learn and clarify. And Rita, Isaiah said it was in late June. Yeah, because the article I was looking at, it said recent episode. Thank you, Isaiah.
Thank you, Isaiah.
Rita, I accept your apology.
Wait.
Huh?
Now you see me? Now you don't.
I accept your apology.
Oh, but we're
Culture, that's good. She said amen. I don't know if she said amen to, but it's probably the you, First Lady. And then she said preach, First Lady. He made a statement that was taken as racist, just like Roseanne did. Nick had to apologize just like Roseanne, because he knew he messed up and said something that was wrong.
Misha said she should have been on this one.
No, you shouldn't have. Right where you are. To my great point, Isaiah. I was thinking the same. No, don't think nothing. She shouldn't be on here. You got something to say, girl? They calling people in for this one. Jaylen.
This is true. If this finger go like this, or this. Oh yeah.
Y'all don't know what's gonna come out their mouth. So I'm trying to make sure I get through all of it because people are calling people in. They talking about drumline. They talking about she's still preaching. No, I'm talking about how do we not know what Nick said is the truth? I just explained that, won't it? About the truth hurt and the lie hurt.
The lie hurts more than the truth. Some people can handle the truth better than a lie, depending on
right. Yeah, and it's easy. You can heal from the truth.
Yeah.
A lie never gives you any true healing.
No, it does more damage than good because you tell it, you always got to find another lie to cover it. And then eventually you tell the truth. And guess what? He could have done that all in the beginning.
Okay. And then some people asked about the anti-Semitic comments that he made. I don't want to really go into that because I think that's better just left up research. Because, even if we say it because of how the algorithms are set up, we're not trying to get in no trouble and can't bring you Brother Empowerment next week. But yeah, go ahead and research that, and then you can get the comments yourself and you can digest those comments. We're not saying those words. No.
Not in this house.
Right. The pros and cons of making less than your wife or girlfriend in a relationship. Ooh,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'll let the
pros and cons. I'd like to start that one. Pros and cons. You can be an at-home dad doing all of the domesticated stuff that we do and just enjoy your life like we have done in the past. I would love to make more money than my husband and have him to sit at home and go golf, do everything that he loved to do because he's a provider. I have no problem with that. But the con to it is that some men are not worthy of having that. Of doing that for them. Because if they are not the definition of a man, you can go do your research about what a man's supposed to do and a man. Okay, I'll give you some of my personal. I'm making this personal. First of all, he has to be a provider, take care of his household, lead his family, and most of all, love me unconditionally. The top one on my list is to have a great relationship with his mother. Because if he doesn't have a great relationship with his mother, guess what? He ain't gonna love you. He gonna treat you just like trash. So that's the pros and cons for me.
Yo, look at Hey, but you know what? Hey,
I'm so glad you and Misha wasn't on the same show.
She wants you to go play golf every day and do
every day. 18 to 36 holes every day. I have the laundry done. I have the dishes done. I have dinner made.
Yeah,
I'm good. I got no problem being a kept man.
Yeah.
Hey,
I run a bubble bath and light candles and everything.
I don't think any secure man has a problem being a kept man.
Nope.
It shouldn't be, but you have more insecure men than you do have secure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so
Senior pastor, what's going on?
Rita, please say something. Just say something, Rita. Go.
So what? Follow I was sitting here like, what does one say after that that would actually add to it? And the only thing like he'll be dressed nice.
You know what? I'm so done. I'm so done.
No, okay, I got one. I will say I agree. Like, so a pro would be if the man is staying home or in the capacity to stay home. Hopefully he's got a better relationship with his kids, a relationship that a lot of times as women, when we have kids, and not all women, but a majority of women, there's like this, we're nurturers by heart. So like when our children are birthed into this world, like there's an automatic love that you can't describe or even experience because we've carried this child for months, right? So to have or allow the father or the man in the life to be able to be there and kind of see all the parts of being that parent that sometimes they don't get to necessarily be a part of their working. would be a pro. The con is really, to me, there's really only one. Most guys pretending to be men wouldn't be able to handle it. It's really gonna be for like a man, like only a man is gonna really understand that this isn't some sort of trade-off. This is what will make your family unit stronger and better. And so now the question is, what's the percentage that would be able to handle that without getting shamed by like their friends, and then having that be the issue, because that's really what it would be, being shamed by the other guys. Because I would think that'd be kind of cool to pick your wife up from work, and you get home and you put on like your clothes and you just look cute, and you just
Run out to the car, get our bag, make us a hot bath, bubble bath.
When I leave in the morning, I got like a bag lunch. I mean,
So
I gotta jump in here now because I just
and I'm going right after you. Go ahead.
I just saw a comment that from James Hall says, "So do you still respect him as your head?" So I'm gonna have a very transparent moment right here.
Oh.
There was a period where I was in transition, and she made all the money.
Yeah.
So the question to you, Florida, did you still respect me as the head?
Yes, I did. I still treated you the same as if you was bringing in 7 figures. I'd change it not. I told you I'm your ride or die chick. We ain't gonna do Will and Jay to talk about
We ain't gonna do that.
We
Ain't none of that bad marriage stuff.
No.
Yeah. So somebody talks about the man. So they talk about the man being the provider, and I think this is where we get it all messed up all the time. When people hear the word provide, they think it's only to provide, money.
Right.
No. Where's that covering for your wife?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that covering for your family?
Yeah.
Are you providing knowledge to your family? Are you providing love and care to your family? So it's much more than money when you say provider. And I hate when people say, "Oh, the man's got to be a provider. You got to go out there and make the money." Yes, you should be making the money if you can. But being a provider is a lot more than money. Because I know a lot of dudes that make a ton of money. They are horrible providers because all they do is provide a roof over their head, and that's it. It's much more than that.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, and that society has conditioned men to really be resource gatherers and responsibility takers, hoarders of resources and responsibility. That's really what Western society's conditioned us to be. And so the lady you're talking about, a man being a kept man. So I'm gonna go back a little bit and just approach the question of if your wife, girlfriend, whatever makes more money than you. So a couple of brothers in the comments have already talked about the scrutiny of if your significant other's making more money than you, because like I said, as society, we're conditioned and socialized to be breadwinners.
Yep.
When it comes to financially, when it comes to resource. So that there's that pressure of if somebody finds out or you tell someone, that your significant other makes more money than you do, people will look at you kind of funny. Like, man, what are you doing? You're not doing enough. Now, never mind that she could just be like the first lady. She could and Rita, she could just be that go-getter that has her own bag. Never mind that. Well, as a man, you're not working hard enough because your significant other she makes more than you do. So there's that pressure and that unfair scrutiny because it shouldn't be like that. If you have a partner that really gets to it just like you do, and she happens to have a bigger check than you do, then so what? But that's not how some people view it, and that is one of the cons. And the other one is just insecurity. And like First Lady said, there's some insecure men out there. So that insecurity can snowball with that kind of thing, and it can manifest in some really unhealthy ways with that. And as far as the pro, like it's already been said, if you a kept man, you got a whole bunch of time to work on yourself and like Ed said, provide that huge covering for your significant other, and you got a whole swing the golf club, do all that stuff. And the other pro is that pressure of being the sole breadwinner is not there. If you got someone there right next to you who's going to get it, you don't have to worry about, man, if I'm ever down, man, I gotta go 3 times as hard to get us back up because it's just me. No, you got someone there who's pulling the weight with you. So she's like, all right, well, you dip down to like 30%. It's cool. I'm gonna pick up some slack till you get back up, and then we're gonna distribute it evenly again or whatever. Like that's that's probably to me the biggest pro of it is the workload is shared. Everything that's shared. It's not as much pressure. You know, because it's supposed to be you're supposed to be a unit. It's not well, I'm gonna do all this and no, you're supposed to be a unit in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, First Lady, you got First Lady Flo, you got a fan club over here. You got Mia, Misha, Isaiah, all of them want to meet you, and they don't put you on the ballot. They don't penciled you in.
Yeah.
So you got, and I knew you when I saw that swoop. I said they love her tonight because she got the swoop. When that swoop is up and over, the swoop is ready. You was very presidential.
That's okay. I can handle that. Believe you me. If I can, yeah. They hadn't asked the question, so I'm not going there. Get the look on your face. So, but one thing that I would say that the con that I don't like about that whole scenario is society, and the society makes that a negative thing, and it shouldn't be that way because anything could happen to the man, the head. Since we're talking about the guys, anything could happen on the job that causes him to be disabled or die, something like that. And guess what? All of the responsibility goes right there on the woman. And then even if she does try to get herself back together and start another relationship, you see how it just could just have a snowball effect where it just messes everything up for that individual.
I will say this too, though, and I know that I am a traditionalist in this regard because I want to say a couple of things. First, girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend. The first thing is we need to establish expectations. And a lot of times we walk into relationships with assumptive expectations that no one actually agreed to. And so we can't just assume that just because someone grew up in the same area that they value the same things that we value or look at things the same way that we look at them. Then additionally, there is a difference between being married and being somebody's girlfriend.
True.
Somebody's boyfriend, because the difference is not, I ain't even gonna go to religious route. We can leave that for another day. But when you make a contract, a contractual agreement, it holds a different amount of weight. So when people say, oh, a marriage is just a piece of paper, well, you'll be surprised what pieces of paper will do for you, because that green that you have in your pocket, it is a promissory note of debts, both private and public. So if you don't have that piece of paper, you won't be able to get other pieces of paper like that promissory note that goes to your mortgage, or that promissory note that goes to your car, or that promissory note that goes to that life insurance, or that promissory note that gives you access to your own children. So there are a lot of things that happen with contracts on pieces of paper that can change you from being a thousandaire to a millionaire.
But so, you know, the girlfriends and the boyfriends, they're doing the contract now where they're literally buying homes and stuff together, which doesn't make sense to me, because at any given moment you can call it split. But with the contract with the husband and wife, I completely understand what you're saying. But in this generation, the value that a contract means to us in a marriage, to the single individuals that are just dating and say that they're going to be together versus actually being together for life, they go into this agreement, and then who's to say 5 years later, it's all nasty.
Right. And that's because we're not even going through the process of, just because you don't respect something doesn't mean it doesn't have an impact.
Yes.
You can play with bleach all day long, but if you got on colored clothes, it will stain your clothes. So you can say that it's just bleach. Okay, splash around that bleach and see what happens. Yeah. See if it don't mess up your good stuff. So a lot of times we just act as if something is the same and they're not. And so when you go into something, and the one thing that I like about a marriage, it is intentional expectations. And so if you're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend or life partners or whatever you want to call it, and you don't want to go the traditional route, I'm for that too. But my point is, you need to make intentional expectations of what it is. My ex-fiance, we're friends. And one of the things that I always said was, I didn't see myself with you. Was she a bad girlfriend? No. But she wasn't my wife. So I didn't see myself with her. So when we broke it off, we were still friends. But when I saw my wife, I said, that's wife. It's a difference. But there's a way, but we always establish expectations. And none of the girlfriends that I broke up with, none of them are we at war with one another. Because there was established expectation. And we got to get to that place where we can be.
Right. I'm like you too. Hold up. First of all, you shouldn't be even dealing with them ex-girlfriends. No.
That's over there. You stay over there.
No.
You don't run this. I think we should reevaluate what we really want on our table. Just because she makes more money than he doesn't mean that she is bringing it to the table is of more value. We get caught up on what society tells us to do. I may make less, but my presence is more. What we need is equal balance.
Yeah, Jack said something.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Jack said that's the difference between implied contracts and physical contracts, kind of piggybacking off of Rada.
Ultimately, he said something earlier saying that it takes a superior woman to be in that position too. And I would say that I do agree with that, because there are some women who may say they're okay with it, but if they're making more money than you, that little slight comments will come out, mannerisms will change. They're really not okay with it, which is a lie, of course, but that's how some people do.
And I will say this because people don't know how to have, until you know how to have a healthy relationship, period. And we ain't even talking about a healthy relationship with another person. Have a healthy relationship with yourself.
That's what I'm
You
doing.
can't have a healthy relationship with yourself. You don't need to be establishing what somebody else brings to the table anyway, if you don't even realize that you are of value.
Correct.
If you don't even realize you of value, what are you bringing?
Mm-hmm.
That's why if you want to counsel something, y'all need to counsel that better half mess, because I don't want a half of nobody.
Right.
What is better half?
A whole person to the table. I want to meet a whole person. And y'all see me talking about this is my better half. That's why half of the relationship is always messed up. And that's why y'all are only meeting each other halfway when we trying to go the distance. I don't need a partner that's going to meet me halfway. I need a partner to say, I'll meet you there, babe. Let's go. Mm-hmm. Because we got somewhere to go. And if you always sitting there counting half and half, what if it is like what First Lady said? What if it's the 60 and I need your 40 right now, but then you flip it and say, hey, I'm a little short. You know what? I can't stand it. It's the bump. The bump in the swoop. And when she got the bump in the swoop, she don't have
the money in the screen, like we can't see it.
Yeah, man. Jack helped me because these people.
She had the basket up, so I was just putting it in.
Look, you know what? I'm ending this live now. Forget this. This was a mistake. But we do got to get to a point, guys, where we really are establishing things, and where if you find yourself where you can't really get along with people,
right?
Or if to First Lady's point earlier, if every relationship ended bad. Mm-hmm. And you can't talk to the people that you've been with. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing. It's like my ex-fiance told my wife, like, you got a good man. If an ex can't vouch for you, something is wrong.
Yeah. No, if an ex can't vouch for you, they're jealous. They don't want you to be happy because they realize what they had. And I'm saying for myself, okay? So no, let's get that straight. They ain't gonna vouch for you all the time. So
if it's nobody that you got nobody from your past, that nobody. I
got them, but they ain't gonna tell the man the truth that they got a good one. No.
Can we talk about normal people who live normal lives?
Let's try to talk about that set of normal men. Yeah, let's try to dive in there about what percentage of men is normal when it comes to an ex. You are one of those rare few that has a good. You're rare.
I mean.
We need you to do a poll, First Lady.
We need you to do a poll. She said you are rare.
You are okay, but you are.
So I take it. The last R got me.
The earlier thing when you were talking about like intentional, right? Most men and some women, like most men are intentional about what they're trying to have out of a relationship anyway. They don't make their intentions known. I just had a conversation about courting and what does courting mean, or really like building a relationship with a woman and making your intentions known. Most men don't. Most men are gonna, and the same with women. Like there's this whole thing where, like you said, I think until people realize and love themselves, but not just what you bring to the table, but you got to heal some stuff. A lot of people, they bring, so you know, the baggage. People always got to bring baggage into a relationship. But I say some baggage is okay. Like you wouldn't take a trip without taking your toothbrush, right? You wouldn't take a trip without taking some socks and some underwear. So there is an essential bag that you need. And that's the stuff that you learn from your relationships, the stuff, the parts that make you good, the parts that'll make you be able to be in a relationship. Most people bring the unnecessary baggage and they don't heal the things from a previous relationship. So when you have I'm going to just say personally, I've had guys that'll come and they have this one folder and they put all the women they've ever dealt with in one folder. Yeah. Instead of allowing me to have my own folder. And so part of the problem is with the intent is most of the time guys, so there's the whole dichotomy that there's a shortage of good men, which that could be for another conversation, but a lot of dudes are hollering there's a shortage of good men, which means they can be and act any kind of way. And then women are just supposed to take that trash or garbage, whatever is they're trying to push onto us. But again, right now is no one's being intentional. No one says up front, this is what I'm looking for in a relationship, right? So my thing is, where the honest guys, where the guys who are honest about where they are right now? Because again, I think you're rare. I'm sure there are some men. I'm not saying all men. I don't want to be that. Not all men. Hashtag not all men. But no, I'm actually from the South, Isaiah. I was born and raised here. That's why I think courting is great. Like I want a steady. I want someone that's steady across the board. Don't give
you saying every syllable. Because we say Carlton. You be Carlton down here.
I'm a communications major. That's why. Communications major. But you know, like I'm saying, like a lot of times with guys, like I said, I'd rather a guy be honest. Tell me, I'm friends with my exes, by the way. Well, yes. I'm friends with all of them. So I get you on being friends, and it takes time. Like it's not always going to be right away because you got to heal whatever it is. And then you got to like do some soul searching, because if you keep jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship, you don't know what you want. You don't know what you're looking for.
That Rita talked about. I can admit that in my relationships, I had baggage, but it wasn't the bad baggage. It was just some stuff that happened to me as a young age. And I'm very transparent with it because that's what my organization is about. I was molested at 7 years old, and I suppressed that all of my life completely until I was in a bad accident in 2015. Those suppressed memories, they came back like a raging demon saying Pandora box opened up. It doesn't compare to how those suppressed memories that came out that he had to deal with. And this is where you really find out if that person, your significant other, is with you through the good, through the bad, the indifference, and all of the stuff that they did not know. And so he stayed with me. Mm-hmm. Granted, he suffered secondary trauma, but he chose to stay with me and endure my healing through that whole process of us still being together, no entanglements whatsoever. So I'm good.
I break that. Y'all be doing this from jail cell, talking about some darn entanglement. You get out of here with that. But I wanted to talk about the
you was called out. You had no choice but to say something.
Oh no, I told you I was just here so I won't get fined. We want to talk about the baggage. You know, I think it all starts with, you know, and I'll speak, you know, regarding my wife in particular. It's all about love, and you know, it says love covers a multitude of faults. And you know, when somebody has baggage, and this is just me speaking, you have baggage. For me, with my wife, she had baggage. I was there to help her carry her baggage. Mm-hmm. I was there to help her unpack that baggage. And then I was there to help her fold that baggage and put it away. Word. That's the type of love I had for her.
No, I burned that. I ain't took it. That shit burnt. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Guess what? I'm so glad her and Lucy wasn't on the show together.
there you go.
Yeah, so
Straight 227 right there.
I think it's all about maturity, you know. And let's just be honest, us men, we take a little longer to mature and, you know, figure out what we really want.
No, wait a
You
minute.
know,
Wait a minute.
look, man, as a whole, let's just be honest, as a whole.
Next to it, there's a reason that men's emotional maturity, emotional intelligence.
Oh, there's definitely a reason. I didn't say there wasn't a reason.
All right.
There's definitely a reason. And we can go down a whole list of why it's like that. But once a man is truly mature, all those games are done. There's no entanglements. You're able to love somebody in spite of what they might be going through or dealing with, or what you're dealing with, you know, yourself. I'll sit here and I'll proclaim I got a good one.
Word.
And I'll sit there and I'll hold her down no matter what.
You better been good.
Thank you. I just did good. A good one. I thought I was Luda. Your ringtone.
On your bad days.
My chick good. Come on now.
She good on your bad days.
And she about to pull out the boxing gloves. Y'all gonna pay after this.
Anyway, I have a good one. Okay.
What can we
I got
do?
a good one. Okay. Because I'm not gonna go there. You know you're a good one, and you know what I do.
I'm a great one.
You know what? Ed,
I'm about to buy her an eagle, Jay.
no.
I'm about to buy her an eagle.
Oh, Sean said, been married almost 22 years. Some of the best parts were some of the most painful. Once we got through it, we were stronger together.
That is so true.
That is true.
That
I
is
want to clarify that, though. I want to clarify it because it's a couple of things that we're talking about. One, when we talk about healing. First of all, we're always healing.
daily.
I want to just really get rid of that. You got to come into a relationship healed, because healed is a lifestyle.
Right.
If you don't continue to work on your healing, you will be sick. And you will bring that sickness into a relationship. And one of the most sickness type of mindsets is we tend to judge each other's sickness and we both in the hospital bed.
Mm-hmm.
Versus appreciate the fact that, hey, we both can identify that we both need healing and let's heal together. Don't direct my healing and I won't direct your healing. Because what it is, because a lot of us lack accountability. So it's easier to own somebody else's healing than to own our own versus enjoying the process of healing together. So just like Rita said, there is baggage, but you got to know what belongs to you and accept it.
Yeah.
The other thing is there is communication styles and communication preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't communicate to your preference doesn't mean I'm a poor communicator. You just have a preferred way of communicating. And let's acknowledge that and let's work on that together.
Mm-hmm.
But the beautiful thing about it, because I don't believe in struggle love. So let me tell you that. I don't believe in no struggle love. You ain't me. I ain't gotta go through hard times to know that you appreciate me.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that.
Mm-mm.
But I believe in working for what I have. I believe in fighting for what I have, but I don't believe fighting each other to make it happen. And so we got to make sure when we talk about going through things,
Mm-hmm.
that we have our intentional expectations in mind. Because some of us are fighting in circles and we're not moving.
Correct.
And so we definitely want to make sure we're getting there. Guys, we got a whole bunch of comments. Flo, they said, I'm here for it, Flo. Jack said he gonna put you in as a write-in.
She gonna have her own church.
And Ed, Isaiah said, don't throw me in that category of men. I ain't with all them games. My time is precious for that.
I ain't say all now. I ain't say all.
Rita? Okay, Rita, that was probably to you.
What's that?
And I don't know. Sharice said, that's real. I'm scared of it.
What'd I say?
Maya said, okay, well, I need to know, what age does a man mature? I'm just wondering.
Case by case.
Case by case.
See, never satisfied. Done said a good one on Al Gore's internet. It ain't enough.
That was for me.
I love this community. Even when we are being professional, we tend to let the hood out a little bit. I'm not mad at you, Miss Flo. I knew when she came with this bump. You see how many fans you got?
All of them.
See, Raider, you should have came with a bump and a swoop. You see?
No, I told you, like, I was.
Flo, you need a podcast. If you got one, let me know. Subscribe.
Call it the First Lady Cat. There you go. Boom.
Goes back to expectations. What's up, Sherry? And Roger was on earlier.
Hey, Sherry. Hey, Roger.
It depends on the man's time of maturing.
Yeah, it's a case by case basis.
And it depends on where he's maturing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because some people I know several people who are mature in intellect, but really do struggle with emotional intelligence.
Yep.
And they really struggle bad with communicating. Like one of the things we talked about, me and my wife talk about all the time. My wife has the pressure of being the first girl.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pressure that, she really talked about. My wife was a debutante and all of that. So her pressures was doing everything right the first time.
Okay.
And so when critiques happen, my wife like, who critiquing me? What you mean? So a lot of times in my relationship, it was a breakdown because it introduced a new dynamic that she knew nothing about.
Yeah.
Was she not mature? She was very mature. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was just something new now because when you get married and you stay with somebody, like forever,
Mm-hmm.
Ever?
you start, and even life partners, if you with somebody long enough to get a whiff of that morning breath, see, morning breath changes a whole perspective. It makes you value, like, do I really want to be in this relationship? Do I really want this? Because the morning breath will let you know where you stand with a person. But when that morning breath level comes, that's when you start seeing things that nobody else can hide. That's when the masks fall off.
Us women would say something different. It ain't morning breath. We'll just leave it at that.
Look, we're not gonna go there. We are not going. And I was waiting for it to start.
Women will not say it's morning breath. It's simple as that.
Behave. Now I don't let her out much. That's why I'm not talking. I'm giving her a little time. I don't let her out much because when she get out,
I'm gonna tell you why that morning breath will get you, because you be looking at, I know for a man, you looking at that beautiful woman beside you, like, how something this beautiful produce something like that real quick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's like the little things change the way people perceive. Jack said it's that snoring too.
that's snoring too, boy. Woo.
Ooh.
See, very true about that morning breath. I told you.
Okay, but who's saying it? Guys or women talking about the morning breath? Tell me.
They crying. Hold on, they crying right now. Tara, you know what? These people so bad, they want you to get in trouble, Flo. Don't trust none of them. Don't trust them.
No, I'm serious. Tell me what females have said that it's morning breath that matters to them.
Okay, what matters? Tell us then.
Mm-mm.
I can't have nobody in my bed though. I have a California king, and I have to sleep alone. I don't even want someone in my house. Build your house, do it to me. Why is somebody old? That's like somebody old grandma.
Yeah, like, man.
Well, I ain't gonna hold
Wow. Okay. Okay. When you're used to being by yourself, I mean, that's how you feel, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to know what does matter. Come on, what does matter, First Lady?
If you're worth the long haul, and I'm not talking about the marriage.
I don't care what you say about me. You can't get $1 out of me.
Well,
Yo.
First Lady.
I said nothing but long haul. That's all.
Can you imagine everybody here and Misha at the same time?
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. Cause that's why I said it. I was like, we don't need Misha next. Misha talking about she was gonna come on this week. We was like, we don't need you this week, Misha. We don't need you. They come out, come on, First Lady. I can't do morning breath. Please go and brush your teeth before you speak. Tara laughing. They talking about come on first lady. They talking about log out.
They telling me to log out. Okay, I'm gonna log out.
You better not
drinking. That's what I want to know.
Water, H2O.
She has to be hydrated.
Yes. Have to stay hydrated for the long haul. See, Rita is drinking.
She said he need a jug by the bed.
y'all better go follow her on all her social medias because she ain't coming back. I'm about to go look. I'm about to call your mama in Mississippi. Like,
once a year clause in her contract.
Right.
She'll see y'all next
See, this is why I hadn't started my podcast. Granted, I suppose it been started, but yeah, Jay and I, yeah, that would be.
No, it'd be amazing. But,
yes, it would. Yeah.
Well,
And then, the Dudleys After Dark, yeah.
Oh, I'm tuning in every week, and I want to be on the show.
But guys, you know that hour goes by fast. So this is where we do what is called Positive Brother Shout Out. So guys, before we do Positive Brother Shout Out is actually an opportunity to shout out those men who are doing exceptional things that probably don't get recognition, like, you know, your public official or things like that, or the pastor of the church or things like that. But that one who's probably working hard, the one that's probably working so hard they can't even tune in right now. So we definitely want to do that. But guys, before we get into all of that, I want to let you know the connection of why you will be seeing these faces a little bit more. Mr. Ed Dudley has agreed to be a part of our advisory committee of Love is a Parable. So he's going to be helping us. He has a lot of experience in a lot of areas, and I'm not going to tell everything tonight, but he does. First Lady Florida Dudley, AKA Duval Dudley of She Soars on the Backs of Eagles.
Eagle, yes. We're not even touching it on here. Okay, that's for Friday.
But I actually agreed to be on her board to help her. But I've been working with Ed in Florida for about a year now, a little bit over a year.
Okay.
And it's been a beautiful budding relationship. And then I had the privilege of meeting Rita last year, but really connecting with her because both of us serve in helping, and all of us are on the leadership team for We Are Connected. And so it truly is now the family of Love is a Parable is growing. So you will see all of these individuals on this stream more frequently, but also they help influence and shape some of the decisions that we make, and they help guide us. Tara, who's our advisory committee chair, would definitely be reaching out and connecting with you guys. I'm just excited because our family is growing and we about to really do some big things, even bigger. We're going to be in for the long haul.
Long haul and soaring, those who go together.
But you guys definitely need to get to a place where you connect with every last person that's on this stream. There's different websites and different angles. I did the easiest one because it's limited. So I did their Instagram, but you definitely can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Look them up. Rita is an international. No, they think I'm playing. She's an international.
Yes.
That's what's up.
No, like seriously, like Rita, this is some powerhouses here. And so every last person that's just saying is actually global, and I'm not playing. So that's enough. So you will be seeing them again. So I want y'all to know that y'all are continuously see these individuals. So I'm gonna yield it over to Rita. Would you give your positive brother shout out?
I actually would like to give my positive brother shout out to my dad. Seriously, like my dad has always been the person who's been there for me, still comes and helps me. I can call my dad, doesn't matter what time of day. He always called me firstborn, never called me by my name. I've never heard my dad say my name, but that man means the world to me. And I want to send a special shout out to him because without him, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today.
And she's dope.
He is dope.
Thanks, Dad, for all that you did. All that you did to raise up this dope child, Rita.
Shout out to Dad.
I don't Facebook.
Oh, okay.
But still tell him we still can shout him out.
Yeah, tell
I
him.
know what I'm saying. He's not on Facebook, but I'll tell him.
Okay, tell him. Let him see it. Let him see it.
Yeah, tell him give props for real.
I will do that.
First Lady Devon, Dudley.
Shout out to you, Jay, Cordell, Ed, my father. You guys rock, and definitely for what you're doing. Love is a parable. That is something that the world needs today. And my husband for being as strong as he is.
Yes,
to
love.
deal with my baggage and love me in spite of, and my father for just being there with positive people in my life.
Mama shouted the same people out. She gave you a shout out too, Ed.
Hey, Mama, we gonna talk. We gonna talk.
Okay, well, it's on you, Ed.
So I hope he's still on here. I want to give a shout out to Sean Bates.
That's my.
Sean and I, we serve on a organization we helped co-found called 100 Men Who Give a Damn. It's a philanthropic group. Okay. But in light of all the unrest that has been going on and basically social injustice, this man reached out to me. And when I say he is more than an ally, he is a brother that cares deeply about people in our community. Yeah. When I tell you, I'm used to getting texts from people that have 2-3 sentences. This gentleman sends us paragraphs.
Yes.
I mean, paragraphs. And, I just want him to know that I love him, I appreciate him, and I value him. So keep being the great man that you are, Sean.
Shout out to Sean.
Yep, shout out to Sean. And Tony was shouting out his, he said, brother Jay Glover, he's always pushing him. Mama, you ain't looking forward to no conversation. No. You don't need to talk to him.
I'll take it next. No, definitely, shout out to Brother Jay here. We're here every week. It's like we don't even take breaks. We're just here every week. So, and it feels like it never gets old. It never gets old. Every week it's like the first, second time we hear. It's like, man, all right, we're gonna do this thing this week. So definitely shout out to Brother Jay, man, just because I wouldn't be doing this without him, and there'd be a lot of things that I wouldn't be doing without my brother Jay. So I definitely, shout out to him, and shout out to you, Ed, because I've never seen you like this, Ed. I've never seen you like this. So every time I've seen you, it's been very all business. So tonight it was all gas, no brakes. So
I didn't even get started yet. I want the ladies to speak. Next time.
But I definitely like seeing this side of you, man. I like seeing the full scope of people. So I definitely shout out to you for coming on, and really you've been with us from almost the beginning too. So shout out to you as well. And then also shout out to all the brothers on the live, Sean, Jack and I have had some pretty, really honest conversations this week about some things. And I definitely appreciate that, Jack. I definitely really appreciate that to the utmost. So shout out to all the brothers on the live, Roderick, Kerwin, Superman himself.
Yeah.
Shout out to all those brothers, man. And I say every week, shout out to brothers who are really in their community, just really doing things and not doing a lot of talking and a lot of grandstanding. Really just out there just doing stuff, because when you're doing things, you don't have a lot of time to be talking or questioning people. So, and also shout out to the brothers like Jason that are going to view this later because they're working or doing something else productive right now and they don't have time to come on and be live with us. Shout out to those brothers too.
Yeah, I definitely be echoing everything that my brother said, but I definitely wanted to shout out Cordell and Ed and Kerwin because this is the first time in my life where I could immediately go to brothers to actually talk to. So when I was hit with devastating news, I could pick up the phone, which is actually new for me because I used to hold so much in. So I thank you, brothers, for not just being available, but for also showing me how to trust brothers again. And you've been here from the beginning. I would have never done Brother Empowerment had it not been for you, because I had my own trust issues and I really didn't want to do this. But it actually helped me heal in so many different areas, even to the point where my biological father came back into my life and I didn't close the door. So if it wasn't for this show, a lot of healing in my life wouldn't take place. And I'm grateful for having people that are available. So I thank Ed, and I thank Cordell, and I thank Kerwin. I thank Kerwin for also making it possible where he pushes Love is a Parable like it's his own organization. And I don't even know how he has time because he's in somebody's street protesting right now while he's on this. He's somewhere.
Freedom fighting.
Right. He done put up a billboard, took down a monument, and marching at the same time while he on this show and probably in somebody else's podcast at the same time.
And get back home for dinner.
Right. No, cooking it. Because the boy can cook too. I'm like, what? So he really is Superman. So I thank you for that. I thank you for my lifelong friends that I have had by my side, Tron and Leroy and all of them. But I also think for the new people that support this that I don't even know, like Tony, thank you for being on here. Jack, thank you for being on here. Isaiah, I know you and I met him at the Lettucey event. So I thank all of you guys for supporting us and keeping it going because we need you to impact other brothers because all of us are unpacking something.
Yeah.
And we can all help each other. See, the difference is about the luggage thing is that if you provide people or give people the perfect space to be, when they bring their luggage, it may be a bellhop there. And so it's somebody that can help you carry your luggage because sometimes it's not that you even want to carry it or you don't mind carrying it. Sometimes you need a break because it gets heavy. So we want to provide a safe space for you guys to let your luggage out, and we won't even go in it until you're ready to let some of those bags go. But we all have unpacking to do, and we want you to know that you have a safe place where you can break through without breaking. You don't have to break. But you can heal and we can continue to move forward. You guys help me, so I naturally want to help you guys. And like we say every night, if you feel like there's nobody else in this world that loves you, you have just met 5 who do. So reach out, connect to all of them. I know First Lady probably got so many friend requests right now. She's Florida Duvall Dudley. Look, she's Florida Duvall Dudley. She's Florida Stores.
It changed.
Huh?
It's Flo Duvall Dudley or Florida Duvall Dudley on Instagram and Twitter.
I got like 3 of you.
Yeah, you okay. You're fine.
I got 3 of yous. I got like 2 or 3 of Ed too. So just put in Ed Dudley, you'll find him.
Follow me on, go to LinkedIn. That's where I do most of my stuff. Edward Dudley on LinkedIn.
On all social media platforms, same thing with Raider too. Find her as well.
Yes.
And just know that we'll be here for you guys. Thank y'all guys for tuning in. We love you guys. Good night.
Good night.
For a second.